Hello viewers, welcome back. In this video, we are going to be learning DHCP configuration and DHCP packet flow in Wireshark. Okay, and this is our scenario. We have a router, a switch, and two PCs. We have two ways of assigning an IP address for a PC. Okay, so one is static and another is dynamic. Static IP addressing is done by the administrator or manually by the user, and dynamic addressing is done by a protocol like DHCP. So, for example, in a network, we have 1,000 computers, laptops. For statically assigning IP address for 1,000 PCs will take a lot of time. So, to save the time and human errors, we are using DHCP server. So, what it does is it dynamically assigns IP address to the clients from a pool of IP addresses. So we are going to create pool on the server. So these laptops, they are called client. So they will request IP address to the server, and the server will provide the IP address from the pool. Okay, this is the scenario. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'll show you here. We don't have any IP address yet. We don't have any IP address yet here as well. This interface is also down. This interface is also down because I haven't assigned any IP address on the interface yet. So I'm going to assign an IP address on the interface 0 gigabyte 0/0. So first I'm going to enable IP routing, then interface Z0/Z0. What I'm going to do is I'm going to assign an IP address 192.168.29.1, subnet mask 55.255.255.0, then no shut. So now changed to up. The interface gigabyte ethernet 0/0 changed state to up. So here you can see the green signal. So the interface is up now. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to create DHCP pool on the router IP DHCP pool. I'm going to name the pool 360. So pool name is 360. Now I'm going to give the network 192.168.29.0 because our IP address is 192.168.29.1. So this will be the default gateway for the clients. Okay, so I'm giving this network incomplete command because subnet mask is missing. Okay, we have given the network ID and subnet mask. Then default gateway, which is 192.168.29.1. So we have created a pool on the router. Very simple configuration. Next, I'm going to enable DHCP. Okay, config. Okay, here it is static. Now I'm going to enable DHCP. Yeah, we got the default gateway, and here you can see the IP address. Okay, we got the IP address and default gateway address. Here I'm going to enable DHCP. Here you can see we got the default gateway and the IP address 192.168.29.3 and the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. So this is how working. Here you can see conflict, DHCP address conflict, server pinged. So somebody has got an IP address. So here they are. Now let me ping. Here successful. You can see successful. So they got the IP address. Now they are able to communicate. Here you can see communication in the LAN is happening. So this is how we have to assign DHCP IP address dynamically using DHCP. Okay, let's see that in the Wireshark. Here are the packets. Okay, here are the packets. Okay, it is not showing. Okay. Okay. First packet, discover, then offer, request, act. This process is called DORA. So the first packet is from the client to the server. Source 0.0.0.0 because the client does not have an IP address. So it is sending 0.0.0.0 and destination, even the client does not know the IP address of the server. So the client does not know anything. So it's sending source as 0.0.0.0 and destination as 255.255.255.255, which is the broadcast address. So every device in the network will receive this discover packet. Okay, so let's see the details, information available in the discover packet. Message type request, then hardware type Ethernet, hardware length 6 bytes. 6 bytes it is representing the MAC address. Next hops 0. Then transaction ID. This is an important part. So by using the transaction ID, so DHCP client and server will authenticate. So you can see here the same transaction ID. So the transaction ID will not change. It remains same for all the 4 packets. So by using this, they can identify the transaction. So there can be n number of clients can request at the same time. So and also though there can be many clients receive offer. For example, I'm the client now. Now I'm receiving offer, many offers. For it can be for my neighbor's offer because it is a broadcast. The server might send a broadcast or unicast. If it sends a broadcast, so everybody will receive the offer. So by using this transaction ID, the client can identify that this offer packet is the intended receiver of this offer packet. So by using the transaction ID, they will identify. So here you can see, and also the server also using the transaction ID to identify the clients. Okay, so there can be many clients a server can have. So by using the transaction ID, the server also segregates the clients. So which means identify the client. So used to identify the transaction. Next, client IP address is 0.0.0.0. Your client IP address, sorry, discover packet, okay. Everything is 0. Server IP address, relay agent IP address, client MAC address. This is the client MAC address because the client knows its MAC address. That's why here it is sending its MAC address. Then DHCP magic cookie. Here it has some parameters. It is requesting some parameters from the server. First to discover. Next client identifier, it is the client identifier. It's nothing but the client MAC address is the client identifier. Then requested IP address. Now the client is requesting this IP address 188 because the client is familiar to the network. He is not the new client. He is not new. He is old. He might have gone off and come back again. So it's trying. He's familiar with the network. That's why it is sending. He is requesting an IP address. This IP address, this particular IP address, and the host name here is my name because I'm the host. Then vendor class identifier. So it is used to identify the vendor, which is I'm using Lenovo. So vendor identifier. Next parameter request. So here are the parameters the client is requesting from the server. What are the parameters it is requesting? Subnet mask, default router, DNS, domain name, then perform router discover, static route. So these are the information the client is requesting. What subnet mask, router, DNS. These are mandatory. These are must needed. These are must need information for the client. Okay, these information, these parameters I'm requesting. Now the offer. Open the offer. Opening. Okay, this is an offer packet. Here you can see the source port 67, 60, destination 68. So server, the port server, DHCP uses UDP port 67 for server and UDP port 68 for client. So it is client. This message is from the server to the client because the destination port is 68. Here you can see The source port is 68 and destination port is 67. So the client to the server. Next, okay, offer letter, offer packet, which is a unicast. It can be a unicast or a broadcast. It depends on the server, because I'm familiar to the network and the server knows me very well because I'm your I'm your regular customer. So the server knows me. That's why it's sending unicast. So your IP address now, the the DHCP server is ready to provide this IP address, which is offering. I'm ready to provide this IP address, which is requested. Then next server IP address. This is the server IP address. Next relay, there is no relay agent in the network, so 0.0.0.0. Then client MAC address. Okay, so this is the client MAC address, my MAC address. Then magic cookie. These are the parameters that I have requested. So DHCP server identifier. Then IP lease time. So 1 hour. So IP lease time. This time I can use the IP address for 1 hour. Then renewal time. So I have to renew the IP address every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, I have to renew the IP address. If I want to use the IP address for more than an hour, so that is the renewal time. So I have to renew every 30 seconds. Then rebinding time value, 52 minutes, 30 seconds. So rebinding time value means after 30 seconds, I'm trying to renew my IP address, but the server is not responding. So after 52 minutes, I will continuously trying to connect to the network. So this is the time I will continuously try. After 52 minutes, I will continuously try to connect to the server. Next, the subnet mask here. It is providing the subnet mask and the broadcast address. Server is providing the broadcast address, and DNS server here is providing the DNS server. So these are the information available in the offer packet. Then let's go to the request. So request packet, same things. It is like the discover packet, client IP address, client IP address, next server IP address. It is same like the discover packet, client MAC address. You see here, magic cookie, then message types, request, client identifier, requested IP address, DHCP server identifier. Here, there is one change here. DHCP server identifier, host name, client fully qualified domain, then parameter list. Here are the parameters that I'm requesting. Subnet mask, router, DNS server. So these parameters are requested by me. Then vendor class identifier, the same like it is similar to the discover packet, but there is only one change here, which is server identifier. You can see here the server identifier was not available here. Is it there is no server identifier here, but here you can see the server identifier. Okay, this is the difference between discover and request. Then the acknowledgement, it's nothing but it's sending the offer again, just as a small change, which is that message type is been changed to ACK. So the same information, there is only a small difference, which is here message type ACK, on here message type offer. This is the difference. Now DHCP server identifier, IP address lease time, same as 1 hour, renewal time 30 seconds, then rebinding time value, then subnet mask, broadcast address, default router, then domain, then DNS server. These are the information the client is receiving. Okay, now the client has been assigned an IP address. Here you can see the source from the client 0.0.0.0 and destination is broadcast, and the request as well the same. But the offer from the server to the client can be unicast or broadcast. This also can be unicast or broadcast. Okay, so here I'm familiar to the server, so it is sending the unicast. If I'm a new client, it will send a broadcast. Okay, instead of this destination IP address, there will be broadcast IP address here if I'm a new client. Okay, so these are the things we have to learn in DHCP. And thanks for watching the video. If you have any doubt, please feel free to comment in the comment section. I will answer your doubts. And thanks for watching the video. Bye bye.